it was definitely a murder and the right outcome happened.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're taking a look at 10 celebrity convicts who are the least likely to ever be released from prison.
No one thought Harvey would ever see a courtroom.
Ryan Grantham. Riverdale and Supernatural actor Ryan Grantham was seemingly on the rise with a promising career until its sudden end.
Got a problem, mister?
What? No?
In 2020, he pleaded guilty to the second-degree murder of his own mother, and he was sentenced to life in prison.
A BC Supreme Court judge called this case disturbing, heartbreaking, and extremely tragic.
In Canada, this particular charge allows for the possibility of parole after a set period of time, which in this case is 14 years. Even though he'll be eligible for parole, it's still a life sentence, and the severity of his crimes makes it unlikely that he'll get out.
He told the police he did it. To protect me, but it wasn't him.
Will Hayden. The reality television actor Will Hayden, mostly known as the star of the show Sons of Guns, was a former Marine and a respected gun store owner.
If I live, you buy me lunch, and you can shoot the second one.
Sounds good.
Yet, his public image overshadowed some absolutely heinous crimes. During his trial, it came to light that he had a long history of abusing youths.
The star of Discovery's Sons of Guns, Will Hayden, has been taken into police custody in Louisiana.
Hayden was sentenced to 2 concurrent life sentences, and a third life sentence was added later, along with another 40 years on top. In Louisiana, his crimes carry no possibility of parole, ensuring he'll remain in jail for the rest of his days. Ali Abulaban. Behind the comedy skits and impressions that garnered Ali Abulaban millions of followers and views on TikTok was a horrifying secret.
Speak English when you talk to me, okay? That was English. I'll have a venti, caramel, dolce. What the f*** you talking about? A venti. What is that?
In 2021, he murdered his estranged wife and her friend.
Prosecutors say Ali confessed to both police and his mother that he killed his wife and Rayburn and accused his wife of cheating.
After being convicted of first-degree murder, Abulaban was given 2 consecutive life sentences, plus another 50 years to life for gun enhancements. The judge described the crimes as cold-blooded and noted a lack of remorse, which is why he was made ineligible for parole. It's safe to say Abulaban will remain in prison for the rest of his life.
He fears the consequences, as he should, of his actions. But as he sits here today, I don't know if he's really sorry. I have serious reservations about it.
Kalin Rashad Walker. You may know him as Juju in Superfly, but in real life, Kalin Rashad Walker waved his freedom goodbye when he was convicted of several counts of sexual assault and violence.
I'm not surprised. That's what I've been hearing from multiple people.
Authorities found that Kalin had used his public persona on social media to lure aspiring models with false promises of career opportunities, only to assault them.
I was crying hysterically at this point, but it was like none of that mattered to him.
A judge sentenced him to 50 years to life in a California state prison. Although his lawyer has appealed the decision, Walker's sentence ensures that he's likely to spend most of his remaining years behind bars.
You cannot keep doing this. Y'all can't keep doing this. It's not cool.
Taymor Tay-K McIntyre. Taymor Tay-K McIntyre had a brief run of fame in 2017 while he was a fugitive from the law.
But I ain't beat that case, bitch, I did the race.
His song, The Race, was all about that escape, and he released it while the whole thing was happening. While his song charted on the Billboard Hot 100, his freedom was short-lived, and he ended up convicted on 2 separate murder charges. He was originally sentenced in 2019 to 55 years in prison for a home invasion that ended up in a murder.
Doug, the jury deliberated for a little longer than 3 hours today here before deciding on that 55-year sentence.
In 2025, he was sentenced to an additional 80 years in prison for another murder.
McIntyre was accused of robbing and killing photographer Mark Anthony Saldivar in 2017.
By the time he's eligible for parole after 30 years, he'll have spent most of his life incarcerated.
You're still here. You're still here. My son is gone. He's a box of ashes.
Michael Jace. Former The Shield actor Michael Jace fatally shot his wife April in their home, for which he received a 40-year-to-life prison sentence.
It took the jury of 6 men and 6 women just about 2 hours to reach a verdict, finding the 53-year-old former actor of The Shield guilty of second-degree murder in the 2014 fatal shooting of his wife, April.
During the trial, his young son testified that he heard his father say, "If you like running, run to heaven," right before he fired the final shot, which ended up contributing to his sentence. If he ever gets granted parole after serving the 40-year minimum, Jace will be in his early 90s.
Finally he's getting convicted. Finally, it's less of a burden.
So his chances of ever being free again are pretty low, to say the least.
You're not my friend, so stop pretending.
John War Machine Copenhaver. Once a professional mixed martial artist, Jonathan Copenhaver, who legally changed his name to War Machine, is now known for a brutal assault of his ex-girlfriend, adult film star Christy Mack, and her boyfriend.
All right, this is a brand new jailhouse photo of the San Diego MMA fighter known as War Machine.
The jury found him guilty on 29 felony counts, including kidnapping and sexual assault. Copenhaver was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 36 years.
Christy Mack and her family have been waiting for this day for a long time.
At the time of his sentencing, he was 35, meaning he won't be eligible for release until he's 71 years old. By that point, it's a distinct possibility that he'll pass away in prison. Suge Knight. Marion Hugh Suge Knight Jr., a prominent figure in hip-hop, co-founded Death Row Records and played a key role in the careers of artists like Tupac and Snoop Dogg.
At the age of only 30, and with a lengthy criminal record, including 3 felony convictions, Suge Knight has managed to become the head of a $100 million record company and one of the most powerful and feared men in the American music industry.
He was facing life in prison after a fatal 2015 hit and run, which triggered the 3 strikes law as his 3rd strike.
Rap mogul Suge Knight, who's had legal troubles in the past, facing a murder charge this noon.
To avoid trial, Suge took a plea deal and was sentenced to 28 years in prison. While this avoided a life sentence, he was 53 at the time, and he won't be eligible for parole until 2034, when he's 69 years old.
There's consequences for everything that we do, and he reacted inappropriately.
Harvey Weinstein. The once near invulnerable movie producer Harvey Weinstein's life came to a permanent halt with his numerous sexual assault convictions.
Members of the public clapped as the women who testified against Harvey Weinstein walked out of the courtroom together.
He was first convicted and sentenced in New York 2020 to 23 years in prison, and 2 years later, sentenced to another 16 years in prison in Los Angeles.
Former movie producer Harvey Weinstein has been sentenced to 16 years in prison in Los Angeles County.
While his New York conviction was overturned, he remains in prison and is currently serving the 16-year sentence. Weinstein's health is rapidly deteriorating, and he's been diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia. Because of these factors, Harvey will probably pass away in prison before he gets released.
To me, I'm still the underdog.
Before we unveil our last prisoner, here are a few dishonorable mentions. Joe's son, the MMA artist and Austin Powers actor, is serving life in prison.
And the DNA tells us it's you. That wrong guy.
Mel Hall, former MLB player sentenced to 45 years in prison for multiple counts of sexual assault. Ian Watkins, former singer of Lost Prophets, sentenced to 35 years for various offenses involving children.
There is no doubt in my mind that Ian Watkins has exploited his celebrity status.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
R. Kelly. The long history of abuse and exploitation by R. Kelly finally caught up to him, and he was convicted in 2 separate federal trials.
He recruited fans of his, targeted them, intimidated them, indoctrinated them, threatened them.
In New York, he was initially sentenced to 30 years in prison for racketeering and sexual trafficking. In Chicago, he was sentenced to 20 years for producing illegal content.
I want to thank the survivors, and they are survivors, the people who survived Robert Kelly.
These sentences were to run concurrently, but an additional year was added, combining for a total of 31 years. Furthermore, he's exhausted his appeals, meaning R. Kelly won't be eligible for parole until he's 80 years old.
He's going to be a very old man if he ever gets out of prison.
Did we miss any celebrities you won't see outside of prison anytime soon? Let's discuss in the comments below.